This video was brought to you in part by the supporters of the AMTV Patreon. Thank you. Hi there guys, it's Adam Martyn here, and welcome back to another installment of the Now Review, and it seems to be that time of the year again. After earlier this year we received the first in the Yearbook series, which was Now Yearbook 83, it's official, it's got a sequel, and it's right here. So let's take a look at Now Yearbook 84. So for those who missed it, I highly recommend you check out my Now Yearbook 83 video. That gives you the full idea of to what this series is about, what it's aiming to do. And yeah, just so go and check that out if you haven't seen it. But if you have, this is Now Yearbook 84. And once again, out of the 3 versions, I've gone for 2. I've gone for the 4 CD deluxe edition that styled like a book. And I've gone for the 3 LP vinyl version, which is presented in lovely blue vinyl. You'll see a bit of that later. So Now Yearbook 84 is aiming to collate some of the biggest tracks from 1984, and I imagine some hidden ones too, or some lesser known ones, and present them in this album. As mentioned, the CD has 4 discs, and the vinyl LP is 3 LPs, so there's less songs on there, but we'll get into the difference in just a second. I'll start with the CD, and then we'll move on to the vinyl. Okay, so here is the CD version. You can see the artwork there, once again echoing the classic Now logo of the 1980s, with the red, blue and green embezzled in the text. You've got like the little lightning bolt or arrow with Yearbook in it, and then 84, which is sort of styled like the modern Now, so you've got like a nice breadth of past and future if you ask me. Once again, this is styled like a book. You can see like the spine indent there. Now Yearbook 1984, and we'll open it up, but first we've got to check out this track list. 4 discs. What have we got? So first of all, we have Careless Whisper by George Michael, you know, classic song that has to be on there. The Reflex by Duran Duran, one of their biggest hits. Frankie Goes to Hollywood with 2 Tribes, a very big hit, got to number 1. It'd be great to see Relax on here as well. I hope that does make an appearance. We've got Nina with 99 Red Balloons, excellent pop song, highly recommend that. You've got Eurythmics, which is Annie Lennox and Dave Stewart with Here Comes the Rain again. I'm so glad that's on here. They had a lot of hits, especially around like 83, 84, but I actually really like Here Comes the Rain, and I don't think it gets enough airplay, so happy to have that there. You have Laura Branigan with Self-Control, Tina Turner with What's Love Got to Do with It, one of her most iconic songs. Lionel Richie with Hello, again, wonderful ballad from Lionel that appeared on Now 4 originally. Just know that off the top of my head. You've got Sade with Your Love Is King, The Style Council with You're the Best Thing, and Alison Moyet with Love Resurrection. That's like the first half. We'll just jump to CD 2 since we can see it. So you have Wham with Wake Me Up Before You Go Go, one of the biggest chart singles from 1984. George Michael technically on the first track of a CD once again. You've got Kenny Loggins with Footloose from, you guessed it, Footloose. Wonderful pop song there too. You've got Adam Ant with Apollo 9. Not really familiar with Adam Ant. That's not really my scene. So if you're an Adam Ant fan, praise be, he's on here. You've got the Culture Club with the War Song, which is all about like war being stupid. Makes sense. I don't think did they have a bigger hit in 84? You have Bananarama with Robert De Niro's Waiting, which I think is probably my favourite Bananarama song there is. I just think it's really good. Again, one of those that doesn't really get talked about much these days, I think. You have Nick Kershaw with The Riddle. Again, I would have preferred maybe Wouldn't It Be Good? That could have been good, ironically, on here. It might be on here later, we'll see. You've got Howard Jones with What Is Love, Thompson Twins with Dr. Doctor, one of my favourite songs from the Thompson Twins, that is. You've got Alphaville with Big in Japan. I wonder what year Forever Young came out, because that is my favourite Alphaville song. That'd be great if that was here. And you've got OMD with Locomotion, and that's like the first half of disc 2. So let's pan down, let's see what we've got for the rest. So on CD 1, you've got Murray Head with One Night in Bangkok. I'm not overly familiar with that one, so that'll be a fun listen. Spandau Ballet with Only When You Leave. Philip Oakley and Giorgio Moroder with Together in Electric Dreams. Wonderful pop song that is. You have Lamar with Never Ending Story. Of course, he had his own solo career, and I think that was his biggest solo hit, or the one that's most remembered. I want to say, was that 83? Maybe it was 84. Matthew Wilder with Break My Stride, great tune. Ray Parker Jr. with Ghostbusters, that song has remained eternal since that film came out, hasn't it? Billy Ocean with Caribbean Queen, wonderful Billy Ocean song there. And Rufus and Chaka Khan with Ain't Nobody. Yes, the original version was as far back as 84. A lot of people know there was a 90s remix. There was a remix not too long ago, but nice that the OG, as they say, gets a presence on here. Moving to CD2, so Ultravox, Dancing with Tears in My Eyes, one of their biggest hits for sure. The Human League with the... Is that the Lebanon? The Lebanon is in the place. Oh, I'm not really familiar with that song. See, I like that when there's songs included I'm not too familiar with. It's not all like the big chart ones. So that's a few there. Peter Schilling with Major Tom. I'm certain I've heard that before, but I'd have to double check. Propaganda with Dr. Mabuse. Again, not heard of this. I like it. Like this niche stuff. Scritti Politti with Woo Bees. Is it Woo Bees? Pray Like Aretha Franklin. Okay, I know Scritti Politti, don't know that song. New Order, Thieves Like Us, good song that is. The Cure with The Caterpillar. Swan Sway with Soul Train. I don't know this, man. CD2, back off CD2, coming out with some niche tracks, or at least to me. David Stuvan with Red Guitar, and Echo and the Bunnymen, great Liverpool band, with The Killing Moon. Love that. So the bottom half CD2, some more niche stuff. Keep it up, I like it. A lot of people complain that it's always all the same songs, and of course the big ones are on there, but I like it when they go a bit more niche too. Okay, so we move to the last two discs. So CD3, we're kicking off with Chaka Khan, who appears again. I Feel For You, great song. Grandmaster Flash with White Lines, one of the breakthrough songs in hip-hop, if you like, especially that far back. Denise Williams with Let's Hear It From The Boy, another song from the Footloose soundtrack, great tune. You've got Shannon with Let The Music Play. I know that title. I need to remember the song. You've got the Pointer Sisters with Jump, one of their best ones. The SOS Band with Just Be Good To Me. Wonderful song, especially the 12-inch extended mix. That's probably not the one on here, but great song nonetheless. You've got Jocelyn Brown with Somebody Else's Guy. Womack and Womack with Love Wins. Michael Jackson appears with Farewell My Summer Love, which was a Motown hit originally recorded in the 70s, but rearranged for an 80s release after the Thriller success. Bit of a cop-out, but nice that it's on here. Julia and Company with Breaking Down. Jumping over to CD4, there it is. Frankie Goes to Hollywood with Relax, one of the biggest songs of 1984. Originally got banned on the radio for its explicit lyrics, but one of the best songs of the 80s, I'd argue. Duran Duran with The Wild Boys, they make another appearance then. U2 with Pride in the Name of Love. Yes, U2 go as far back as 1984. The Police with King of Pain, not really familiar with that one. Simple Minds with Up on the Catwalk. ZZ Top with Gimme All Your Lovin'. Billy Idol with Eyes Without a Face. Good tune there. Malcolm McLaren with Madam Butterfly. I'm so glad. That is a great song. It's like a mashup between like the Puccini opera and at the time modern like 80s synth sounds and stuff. Really underrated song. Highly recommend you listen to that if you weren't familiar with it already. You've got China Crisis with Wishful Thinking. And you've got Karma with More. So let's pan on down, see the last few tracks. So on CD3, you've got Ollie and Jerry for Breaking. There's No Stopping Us from the Breaking soundtrack. Not really familiar with that at all. You've got Rockwell, Somebody's Watching Me, the sort of like Thriller clone. Bronski Beat with Small Town Boy, big tune. Dead or Alive, That's the Way I Like It, of course, their version of that. Evelyn Thomas with High Energy, which as itself as a drama was really coming into its own. Hazel Dean with Whatever I Do Wherever I Go, nice song that. Divine, You Think You're a Man, great eyes, Divine. The Weather Girls with It's Raining Men, that had to be on here, as did Miami Sound Machine with Dr. B, yeah, not the remix, the original, and Shack Attack with Down on the Street. Okay, so that is 20 tracks there. Finishing off CD4, let's shuffle on over. So we've got Matt Bianco with Get Out of Your Lazy Bed, funny little tune that. Kim Wilde with The Second Time, one of my favourite Kim Wilde songs, glad that's here. Nick Hayward with Warning Sign. Jim Diamond, not Neil, with I Should Have Known Better. Elton John with Sad Songs Say So Much. Billy Joel with An Innocent Man. The Cars with Drive, which of course the video for Live Aid was quite harrowing and still remains very iconic. Paul McCartney with Pipes of Peace. And Band-Aid with Do They Know It's Christmas, the world famous charity single from 1984 that still gets played to this day. Nice way to round off the album, I say. So you got 19 plus 20 plus 20 plus another 19. So if my maths is correct, that's 78 tracks. Yeah, that's right. 78 tracks on a 4-disc album. So that was your track list. I'll just talk more about my thoughts on that. But let's open this up. Now, I won't be able to show you the whole thing. Well, I'll show you one of the discs first, shall I? Because I know you lot like disc examples. But there you go. That's what CD1 looks like of Now Yearbook 84. Mainly blue. This one with an orange trim. I think all the discs have a different colour trim for the text. But hey, this looks really nice. Good colour combination. So regarding the book then, just looking. So look, Now 1984 Yearbook. A bit of blurb about the year and what was going on for Now as a brand. And then finally, you actually have information regarding the songs. This used to be common in just the releases. They've scrapped it so that it's now like a limited edition feature, weirdly enough. So yeah, if you want to learn more about the songs on here and you want it on the album, you don't just want to look it up online, it is all here, baby. It is all year. Now, I think the last one had a quiz Oh, there you go, the Now 1984 Yearbook quiz, which is questions about the artist. I think some questions about 1984 as well. There's your answers, no cheating. And then you've just got the track list again, but more production information. And look, you can buy Now Yearbook 83, still available. And one of the CDs is housed back there. Oh, they both are, CD3 and CD4. Nice touch. The colour is the colour there. I've just sussed that out. So yeah, you get the nice little yearbook feature. In terms of the track list, I actually think this is really good. I like the mix of, obviously, there's the big hits, like you got your Whams, and you got like other artists like that, Duran Duran, you know, the big hitters of the day. But you've got some songs that either were hits and then faded out, or songs like there's, especially those songs on CD2, a lot of that back end I'd never heard of. Songs like Madam Butterfly, which I love, glad they're getting a second chance here. So yeah, tracklist wise, highly recommend it. I believe the standard CD version is the same, so it's still 4 discs, it's still the same track list. But if you want this limited edition book style, prices range, I think, from between £13 and £16, keeping in mind it is limited edition to a few thousand copies, I think, actually. So yeah, if you want the limited edition one, you can get it from like Amazon, HMV. You're not likely to find it in like your local supermarket, so yeah, Amazon and HMV, or your independent music store if you have one near you. But that's the CD version. Let's take a look at the vinyl behind it. Okay, so sorry about the audio change. I've come away from the microphone behind the vinyl. So as you can see, this is what it looks like. It's the exact same cover, now obviously blown up. And I did mention with the CD, I always love the little like rainbow feature they do at the bottom here. I'm not sure like what it's in reference to, but it's a really like fun, quirky thing, and I'm just glad that they do it. And on the spine, you can hopefully see it says Now Yearbook 84. And on the back, you have the 3 LP track list. Now, of course, the track list, it's not as expansive as the CD. There's only 3 LP discs. So we'll quickly just whiz through and see what's changed. Having to go handheld for this one. So, you know, you got the big hitters you'd expect. So George Michael still here, Duran Duran, Frankie, Nina. Yeah, a lot of the bigger hits. You'll have to do spot the difference. So there's 7 tracks on LP1 side A. Then look, you got Wham, Kenny Loggins. Okay, so you're already getting CD2 stuff. So they're really being selective with what they include, which makes sense. You know, they probably can't include all the songs here on 3 vinyls. So 7 there. So LP1 has 14 tracks total. And we're going back up to LP2. So you got, you know, Chaka Khan, Grandmaster Flash. This is some CD3 stuff. Actually color coordinated in yellow. Pointer Sisters, Miami Sound Machine. Good choices, good choices. I hope Madam Butterfly's on there, trust me. Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Scritti Politti still there, New Order, The Cure, David Stavan, Echo and the Bunnymen, and Propaganda. So again, 7 and 7, 14. So LP2 has 14 tracks, 28 total now. And just moving on to LP3. Moving on to LP3, Duran Duran are back again. Funny that even on the vinyl version with the reduced track list, they get to appear twice. Spandau too, Alison Moyet, Matthew Wilder, Nick Kershaw. Yes, Madam Butterfly survives! Oh, I'm so glad. The last track of LP3 side A, so 7 more tracks there. And you have U2, The Police, Simple Minds, ZZ Top, Billy Joel, The Cars. Paul McCartney closes things off with Pipes of Peace. Funny they didn't close off with Do They Know It's Christmas? I would have thought that would be a more apt one. But yeah, another 14 tracks. So that means across 3 LPs, we have a 42 track album on vinyl, which, if you ask me, is pretty darn cool. Obviously, in terms of the track list, I'll just hover over again. You might notice from the CD version, a lot of the more obscure tracks have been cut. Not all of them, there's still some tracks I don't recognise on here from the CD, but probably with the vinyl, because it's even more limited, they probably wanted the biggest songs on here. I imagine the selection process would have been actually quite difficult, because how do you condense down such an amazing track list? So I don't envy them there. But yes, so bear that in mind then as you go forward. The CD version has 78 tracks, and the LP version has 42, a difference of 36. Okay, so you've seen the track list. Yes, I'm back here. So now I'll just quickly take out one of the vinyl discs to show you what they're like. Now, this isn't a gatefold album. You think it would be, being 3 LPs, but alas, it's not. They're housed in these black sleeves here. And if you bear with me 1 second, I'll be able to get this out. There we go. So which one did I grab? I did grab a LP one. So there you are, dear viewer. Look at that. The beautiful, gorgeous blue. They've chosen a great shade of it as well. And you can see that the Now Yearbook 84 logo is there. Hard to do this when you're filming backwards, but it is there. And it says LP1 side A. And it just says the same on the other side. But all 3 vinyls are this gorgeous blue colour. Absolutely stellar choice. So that, in a nutshell, folks, is the special vinyl version of Now Yearbook 84. Now, the retail price for this, I think it's set at $29.99, so let's call it £30. That might seem excessive, but remember, you're getting 3 LPs, which, you know, £10 per LP, that's pretty decent. And this is limited edition to a few thousand copies, so if you want it, I'd get it now. Like the special edition CD, you're looking at places like Amazon, HMV, and your local independent music retailer if you ask them to order it, or they might just have some in stock. You are not likely to find this at your local supermarket. I don't think they will stock it. So yeah, if you want it, get it now. But I think on vinyl, to have like a good succinct picture of 1984 mainstream pop music, this is a pretty good selection. I know they've had to cut many of the tracks down to 42, but it's still, you know, they've done well. I wouldn't complain. And that overall, folks, is what Now Yearbook 84 is like. I'd say if you like 80s pop music, obviously 84 in particular, then you're really going to like this album. Lots of stellar tracks from like mainstream pop. They've got some alternative cuts on there as well, some deeper cuts, which is nice, but it is mostly mainstream focus, as you'd expect it to be. I'm really happy with this series so far. I'm so glad they decided to continue, and I hope they carry on for Now Yearbook 85 and beyond, quite frankly. So if you want to help support Now and support this series that they're doing, then, you know, go and buy the CD, go and buy the vinyl if you want to. It will really give them, I guess, the encouragement to carry on, because they're testing the waters with vinyl recently, because I'm sure a lot of you would have seen they've got another Now Christmas album coming up, because, you know, the last thing that Now needed was more Christmas albums, but they're releasing it on vinyl, which is actually really cool. That will get a review on this channel in December, because it's taken a while for the vinyl to come out, so, and I want to do it around Christmas time, you know, keep with the theme, keep with the festive theme. But for now, yes, Now Yearbook 84, big recommend from me, whether that's the special edition CD, the vinyl, or you can also get the standard edition CD. Don't forget about that. I think that's about £10. That's packaged like a normal Now release if you just want to get that. But that is all for this installment of the Now Review. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like on the video. It really helps us out. And let me know in the comments, are you going to pick up Now Yearbook 84? And if you are you going to get the standard CD? Are you going to get the special edition CD? Or are you going to get the vinyl? Let me know in the comments. And do subscribe to the channel as well. We'd be happy to have you aboard. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Martyn from AMTV, and I'll see you next time.